What's going on, everyone? Welcome to my YouTube channel. There are a lot of ways you could spend a Friday night. You could be at the bar, at the club, or even sitting through a stick and ball game, but none of those really excite me. Instead, I spend my Friday nights at the Brewerton Speedway watching the action-packed weekly dirt racing, and have for most of my life. Now, I'm taking you along for the ride. This is a fan perspective weekly series covering the racing action, featuring heat races, feature action, wrecks, battles, point storylines, and everything in between all season long. This is the Brewerton Breakdown.
Oh, that's not gonna be good! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Red flag.
Hello and welcome back to the D-shaped dirt demon, the Brewerton Speedway, for episode 9 of the Brewerton Breakdown. It's week number 11 of the 2026 season, and the calendar keeps moving as we get back under the lights for another Friday night of racing. We're back with a full night of racing from some of Brewerton's weekly divisions. No special events or touring series tonight, just regular lineup ready to put on another Friday night show. With the season continuing to roll along, we're getting deeper into the summer and closer to the final stretch of the championship battles. But for tonight, it's all about what happens on the track. The 4-cylinders, Mod Lites, Sportsman, and Modifieds are all on tonight's card, so we've got plenty of racing ahead of us. Let's get this Friday night started, and up first are the 4-cylinder heats.
Number 4, Team Comfort. Heart rate point. Bring it out. Away. Heat number for the modified division. Mike Candigo started getting on. half-X Square car coming to 15 will start inside of row 3. Wild Animal Park for 11. Team Jeff Taylor on the outside. RD3, Rod Davis third. This was site development number 32R. We got number 24 right here. Starting point, the Rooster, Scott Hickson. With the green flag in hand, he's getting the old itchy twitch. You can see that green flag shaking in his hands. He's getting ready to throw here. 15 comfort with this north breakpoint. We're back underway. Start from the start. Second time around on the third. Harry Carr making her second start of the year. Nearly 4 wide for the number 4 spot. Hold on to your hats.
Hey, can I get one of them cool
lap to go. Here we go.
And just like that, the heat races are in the books. While the teams get a chance to catch their breath, the track crew gets to work preparing the surface for tonight's features. The track crew has been a regular part of Friday nights here at Brewerton, and they've helped provide some fantastic racing services throughout the season. A big thank you to everyone who puts in the work behind the scenes to keep this track in pristine, race-ready condition. With the surface getting worked back in, we're almost ready to go racing again. Let's get into tonight's features, starting with the 4 cylinders.
For Pryor and Chelsea Inman rounding out the field. 25 cars strong here with the auto 4-cylinder.
This is the most I've ever seen.
Last minute,
This is all people can afford now.
Evans to the field here. Van Apsen Barty will kick off this 15-lap main event. 25 cars strong. Here, the first feature of the night is green here on Microwave Lane Street. Involved is Pellieri. It looks like he's got that 49 rolling.
That was pretty hard hit.
She knows her daughter's driving one of the lights.
So the safety
normally
team
drives at Evansville
on the
and
scene.
that car. That's my daughter. No, not that
No,
one.
no, not
No,
her.
this was my daughter.
Carrie
Yes,
Mod Lite.
she's driven asphalt for 3
And
years.
she's hopping onto the race car right now, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Ellie Parker.
This is her second appearance here ever.
Switching from asphalt to dirt.
Pretty
So
big
she's
hit
used to driving
there in
asphalt.
turn 1.
Dirt's the total opposite. Like when you're gonna spin out on asphalt, you slam on the brake. You lock those brakes up on asphalt. On dirt, you start spinning out, you gun it. Because if you touch the brake, you're flipping. So, but it's always been.
You ever been to Evansville?
They race here, yeah. I don't know what that meant. I just know and she doesn't like the number because it's 69. So she's like, Mom, I know it's just a number, but it's not a number for a 17-year-old guy. Her number is normally 21. So it's gonna go to that, but that was the stipulation. You can have a free ride.
So good news is Ellie Parker is okay. The field's being put into position down on the backstretch.
And that's her.
Yeah.
Definitely the most I've ever seen him.
Larry Ralph Peter, Ken Burdick,
Getting the picture when that
Harper
night
Fryer,
got
Brian
done.
Metler, Nick
It
Warner,
might
Chelsea
be in
Inman.
front, but they're okay.
And it looks like Georgia having some problems. He's exited the speedway. Coming to the green flag here is the Team Comfort firing point here in turn at number 4, Van Aps. There's Van Aps. Van Aps, green flag is at the track. Tractor takeover.
we're going to send it back up to Mr. Adam for the modified race. Mr. Adam.
Thank you very much, Doc. Want to thank for handling Victory Lane and want to thank Walt.
With Chris Banofsky pulling off during tonight's feature, Tim Dunn was able to make up some valuable ground in the championship standings. Dunn now sits just 29 points behind Banofsky, with the season continuing to move along. The rest of the four-cylinder field continues to battle it out behind them, and with plenty of racing still left in the season, there's still a lot that can change. With the four cylinders in the books, let's move our attention to the modifieds.
upside down. Being told the driver is okay, old sizer is okay. But got into the fence. It just hooked him upside down here in turn 2.
That's where the bite is, baby. That's where the bite is.
Yeah, they're running higher and higher. You could be like the other car earlier, it just went over the nose.
Contact with 3-4 machine. Nine on the big board, 6 to go. Good news is Chris Holsizer is okay. They're being real careful to get that car back on all fours. This race has had a little bit of everything. Slide job, top's been dominant, top's coming in. Unfortunately had a pit shedding tumble. The bottom is starting to come back to life, and look at this. Amy Buff from 11. She got by Karen Smith that last lap and cracked the top spot from 11.
It's not the track ambulance.
Second in a
I wonder if it's that girl.
and he had the worst average start of any driver in the top 5 but tonight was tonight. You drove like a bat out of hell, let me tell you. There was a couple moves where I was like, okay, he's driving angry tonight.
Yeah, just, we've been fighting, just getting a comfortable car. We started off the year really well, and then it kind of just, I don't know, just didn't have the speed. And we threw something at it tonight, and I seemed to like it. And, I could drive the slider line. It was a lot straighter than most guys, so I could just carry more speed through the middle. And, I wasn't sure if I wanted to see that caution when Matt and I were side by side. He was really good on the bottom. And, but then we got some clear track, and then after that it was just red, caution, caution, caution.
Those lap cars didn't do you any favors, and correct me if I'm wrong, during that battle with some lap cars and Matt, you tagged the roll off of 4. How hard did you get it?
I think I had it bent enough that I just caught it with the rear bumper. I was hoping I didn't get myself a flat tire, but it kept on going and it felt fine after that, so hopefully it was just a little cosmetic.
Then with that clear track, because I know you're a big digger. Last week the top went away and Amy snookered them all on the bottom and picked up the win. Was that ever in your thought process tonight, or was the top just so good?
Not for me. I couldn't run the bottom like Matt. He could just pick up the throttle so much sooner than I could, and running those lap cars, running the slider line down there, I saw that little bit of brown, and the top of one was just so far out there. I figured I might as well just try and keep my rigor in the bite and run that slider line. Jimmy Phelps won a ton of races running that line, and the car felt really good through there, so I just kept at it. I didn't see anyone under me.
What do you want to thank?
I gotta thank my wife, my girls. They're the biggest cheer section I got, no matter how we're running. I can't thank Cole and Jake enough for all the hard work they put on this. We've been flipping flopping cars and engines, and they've been busting their tail on this thing. And my mom, my dad, everything they've done for me in the sport and this track. Gotta thank everyone at Pinnacle. Those guys coming on board. Been a long time friends with Brandon, and he wanted to get his name on the quarter panel, so we made it happen. And Chris Nichols here tonight. He's our snap-on guy. Tracy Road Equipment, Gypsum Express, Gypsum Wholesalers, Big Red Towing. I couldn't do it without those guys. Top notch. The Jammer, he's always helping us out, and this year we put his new brake line on the car, so that's good for them, getting some pictures in Victory Lane. Primal, Big Creek Concrete coming out this year. Can't thank Rob enough in the engine shop. It was fresh tonight, and she ran like a top. All the product sponsors, winners, Penske. The list goes on and on. I'm sure I forgot a couple, a little rusty on this.
I see we're both red again tonight too. We put those, put that McNell to work.
Yeah, old red. She never lets us down.
All right, congratulations. The job's not done. We're full tickets.
After tonight's feature, Chris Heil still leads the way in the Modified Championship standings with 520 points. Right behind him is Darren Smith with 516, just 4 points back, while Ronnie Davis III sits third with 514, only 6 points out of the lead. And you can't help but wonder, would Darren Smith be leading the championship right now if he hadn't overshot turn 3 coming to the white flag? Or would he still be in second, sitting behind Chris Heil? With the top 3 separated by just 6 points, and the top 6 separated by only 47, what moments will we see over the rest of the season that could ultimately decide this championship? Up next are the Sportsmen, and heading into tonight's feature, Hunter Hallenbeck continues to lead the championship standings. Tony Finch II sits second, 18 points behind Hallenbeck, while Cody Manita and Ted Clayton Jr. are tied for third and fourth, both 35 points back. With the top four still within 35 points of the lead, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup.
Top 6. Belts get tight, visors clear. Reach deep, comfort firing point, and underway. 25 laps. Jensen to the inside of her is your leader. catch me. Brad Sears, sorry about that, multiple big leads at the tail end of that one, only to get it called back under yellow, but kept his composure, and he's in victory lane. He can hear you now. He's climbing all the race start. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Brad Sears. Chip off the old block. His dad was a smooth operator here in the big block division. Brad Sears, well, the Brewerton Speedway victory lane here in 2026. Man, this thing was a rocket ship all night. Did you know how good you had it here tonight?
Yeah, the car's pretty good.
It was indeed. You had quite a few big leads, and then all this yellow started happening. Did you think at all you needed to change up your game plan, or was it just keep going on the bottom?
Just stay on the bottom and don't miss my mark.
Cody kind of overdrove it into 1 and 2, letting you know that he was there a couple times. Did you get nervous at all, or you knew you had him on exit?
No, I knew I had him on exit.
How's this with you and your dad in victory lane? How proud does this make you to win here at Brewerton?
Pretty good.
What do you want to think?
Mowing, Troyer guys, Shears Contraction, Sugar Top Big Shop, Lawn Care, and my whole family.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's pumped. Give it up to Brad Sears. Got one.
After tonight's feature, Hunter Hollenbeck remains atop the Sportsman Championship standings. Tony finishes second, now sits 22 points behind the lead, while Cody Manita is third, 23 points back. Ted Clayton Jr. sits fourth, 37 points out, with Joe Tricolo rounding out the top 5, just 1 point further back at 38 points. The battle at the top remains tight, with just 23 points separating the top 3. Up next are the Mod Lights, and Mike Mullen continues to lead the championship standings with 346 points. Joe Garofalo sits second, just 9 points behind, while Roger Elshewski is third, 16 points back. Tom Mackey rounds out the top 4, only 23 points out of the championship lead. With 4 drivers separated by just 23 points, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup.
Bring the field the whole song here in the Team Comfort Windows and Doors firing window. 20 laps to decide this one. And we're away. Here on the opening lap, he's not done ground work behind So, 9 to go. Here's me now here in the lead.
Get back out.
Here we go in the vicinity of the requiring window. It's a big window. Can be reached at any time.
Sorry about that. Driver up to number 9.
Okay, so I'm not going to be too far.
I just got notified I'm not going to be too far off of this last name. But as soon as he crawls out here, we're going to make a big announcement, trying to make this the best victory lane you'll ever have. All right, driver of the number 99, Mr. Rodrigo 50! Ladies and gentlemen, I am almost 100% certain that this is Roger's first ever victory. What do you think?
I had 3 at Paradise, but only with a couple cars. I've gotten close here, but this is my first ever Brewerton win. This one's special.
It is very special. You got a lot of experience. somebody's excited because they touched your seat.
Yeah, she's up at my mom and dad's camp. She finally got to sit in my car today. So we finished third in the heat, so I made fun of her and told her that she made the car slower, but apparently not. So I guess she's got to sit in the seat every week now.
We made it look really good out there. You had a lot of competition, so.
Yeah, we've been working hard, me and my dad, getting the car dialed in. We did a bunch of changes after the heat race. But I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Rick Demo, Kyle Demo, Bobby, Joe Isabel for all the help that they've given us to get us close on the setup and really getting me from the back of the pack to the front.
Well, you look good out there. And ladies and gentlemen from Brewerton Speedway, let's give them all a big round of applause and say congratulations on its first win here at Brewerton Speedway. Big round of applause, come on!
Congratulations once again to Roger Elchewski. Roger Elchewski with the win here tonight. And that right there is a picture worth 1,000. Words right there, hugs from his father.
Just him real quick. That's why I'll say no real quick.
Good job, guys.
And on that note, on behalf of track owner Don Laura White, General Manager Corey Reed, all the colorful cast, crew, and characters here at the Speedway, that will end Mark Van playing trade night at the Speedway. It was a really good race from top to bottom. The four cylinders put on a heck of a show. The modified race was a great one.
Good job, Roger.
Sportsman was pretty good. And then to cap it off, we have a first-time winner to end the night here on Micro Games Play in Trade Night at the Speedway. Don't forget.
After tonight's feature, Mike Mullen remains atop the Mod Lite Championship, but Joe Garofalo has closed the gap slightly and now sits 11 points behind. Roger Elchewski also made up ground with his feature win, moving to just 15 points behind Mullen. Championship battle remains extremely close at the top, with 3 drivers separated by just 15 points. That wraps up another Friday night at Brewerton Speedway. Another full night of racing is in the books, and as we get deeper into the 2026 season, we're starting to see just how important every finish can become. The Modifieds continue to have one of the closest championship battles we've seen all season. The Sportsmen remain tightly packed at the top, and the Mod Lights have 3 drivers separated by just 15 points. But with plenty of racing still left on the schedule, there's no telling what moments are still waiting for us in the weeks to come. The dust has settled, the winners have been decided, and the haulers are headed home. Another Friday night at Brewerton Speedway is in the books. The beast sleeps again, waiting to be awoken for another Friday night of racing. Until next week, TM signing off.